Hello everybody and welcome back to the 2017 Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game World Championship. We are in round 4 out of 5 in the main event, and that's where we are headed back for this feature match between second place North American WCQ finalist Roland Fang versus the man who's gone undefeated at the European Championships to get here, Marcello Barberi of Italy. And
Both of these duelists are using two of the most popular decks in the tournament, with Barberi using the True Draco deck that we saw in the first round, similar to the deck we saw in the first round, whereas Fang is actually the only U.S. player using the Dinosaur deck that seems to be having the most success this weekend.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting when we got our first look at the deck list that the entire U.S. team was playing True Draco, except Roland Fang.
Yes, and deviating from the pack is definitely paying off right now, as both of these duelists are undefeated.
I've gotten the impression from him that he's very much a student of the game. Like, he studies a lot, and not just what's happening in his own territory. He studies what's been happening elsewhere as well, and that's probably how he found out about how powerful the Dinosaur deck is.
Absolutely, and that's a tremendous asset at this level of competition.
It really is, and it's been paying off for him very well so far. He's on 9 points at 3-0, as is Marcello. So they are at table 1, and they're having themselves quite a tournament. One more win here will get you into the top 8.
Yep.
And even if you don't win, your tiebreakers will probably still be pretty good.
Yes, having won the first 3 rounds, the tiebreakers will be stronger generally, but there's no guarantee. So they definitely want to win this round to be locked into the top 8.
Yeah, just don't even chance it. Just win this one.
Absolutely. And before we begin, I believe you have some cards to show everyone.
I guess we could do that now. No, actually, it looks like they are... we can do that later. Let's do that later. No, let's do it now. Okay, so for the World Championship, there are some people being invited to watch tomorrow. So there is a lottery within Duel Links here in Japan to get tickets to come see the finals tomorrow, and all of those people that were invited will receive one of these. This is a nice little monogrammed envelope, reads 1 of 2,500, so it's very exclusive, and within it is these. You have a absolutely gorgeous Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl, a secret rare Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, and an ultra rare version of the US version of Monster Reborn. If you watch World Championships past, you might have seen a very different looking Monster Reborn. But they're bringing over the version that we all grew up on the TV show over to Japan for the very first time.
Yeah.
So expect to be in very high demand. And if you at home want to get one of these, you can. All you have to do is go to your World Championship celebration tournaments that run at official tournament stores. And there are some instructions for you to follow. And you'll be able to find those on the official Facebook pages for TCG Europe and TCG America. So go to the Facebook pages there to get the details for that. It's going to involve photos and going to your World Championship celebration, posting the photos, but you can get all the rules on the website.
The cards look awesome.
They're gorgeous. It's very hard to overstate how good they look. All right. Well, yeah, I'm pretty excited about those. I kind of just want to... No, I have to leave it closed. I have to leave it closed. We have to share. We have to share these.
The Dark Magician Girl in particular looks really awesome.
Yeah, so I don't think I've ever seen a Ghost Rare that looks that good. The
No.
closest thing I can think of is Honest, where, you remember Honest from Light of Destruction, the Ghost Rare 4, you can actually see the colors still in it. And you get a little bit of that with the first couple 5D sets as well, the Stardust Dragon and Black Rose Dragon. But on top of that, it's got this kind of sparkly shine to it that I don't think I've ever seen before on a Ghost Rare, and it just blows me away every time I look at it. I have to keep this closed or else there's got to be trouble. It's just not going to make it to where it needs to go. No. All right, so it looks like we are just about ready to get started on round 4. 40 minutes as per the usual.
It's time to duel.
Here we go. Looks like Roland Fang's got, he's got some good stuff there. He's got Petit Pteranodon, he's got Terraforming, which he activates immediately. So Terraforming, the first turn, a True King, and Petit Pteranodon. Those are all cards we saw in his opening hand, and they are exactly the sort of thing that you want to see when you're playing this Dinosaur Yangzing combo deck. Essentially, you need to destroy your baby dragons, Petit Pteranodon and or baby Cerosaurus, along with True King Lithosagem, the Disaster. And that's going to start off a sequence of events that winds up with Soul Eating Oviraptor on your field, Miscellaneousaurus in the graveyard, and it just gets a little crazier from there. So let's just follow along and see what happens.
Yep, so Fang starts things off with, as you mentioned, the Terraforming to get Draconic Diagram, activates the diagram, uses its effect to destroy the Petit Pteranodon, and adds... I didn't see what he searched for.
He added another Lithosagem. And now he's going to get Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to his hand with Soul Eating Oviraptor. I just noticed there's no text over there on the side. Soul Eating Oviraptor, when it's normal or special summoned, can either add a dinosaur from your deck to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So now he's going to activate True King Lithosagem, destroys the other Lithosagem and BN. And the reason...
Wow.
So yeah, this is really good because Lithosagem does another thing when it's destroyed.
Yes. Since they're both Earth monsters, he gets to look through his opponent's extra deck and then banish 3 of the cards in it.
That it does. So this is really devastating if you play a lot of one-ofs, which is generally what people do.
Looks like he picks Volcasaurus, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, and not sure what the third card
Consular
was.
Ptolemy M7.
Yes. Unfortunately, for Fang, Barberi's deck is not that reliant on the extra deck, since he does run True Dracos.
The good thing here with that, though, is that you get to know that your opponent's not playing the invoked cards.
That's
you get
true.
to look.
That's true. It definitely gave him information about what Barberi is playing, and that could actually impact the way Fang plays out the rest of his turn.
Now, his normal summon was the BN. So because he destroyed it on the field, he's able to get Chiwen, the Yangzing Tuner, out of his deck.
Oh.
And he just combined it with Soul Eating Oviraptor to synchro summon Denlong.
Yeah. So Denlong's effect activates.
Yeah, that gets him a 9 Pillars of the Yangzing to his hand. And then he uses its other effect to send Swanee to the graveyard to change its level to 4. So now it's a level 4 Tuner Synchro. And when it leaves the field, he's going to get another summon.
Yes. Oh.
Next, he banishes 2 dinosaurs. And you get Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. That's the leading card from Dinosmasher's Fury.
Yes. This is a very powerful opening for Fang, who now sets the Pillars of the Yangzing.
You know what the wild part about this is? This isn't even that good. It's just okay. It's just okay.
It could be better. I suppose it could.
Like, just having Denlong and 9 Pillars and Lithosagem is pretty good. But he's got a Dino with it. It's pretty good. It's not hit you with Trishula, then hit you with Enterblathner.
Well,
to take 2 cards out, and it's not Trishula and then True King of all Calamities. But it's good.
Depending what he was playing against, this could be better because you got to go through his opponent's extra deck.
Ah, so Cosmic Cyclone is activated. And in this case, you definitely activate it because you need to get Denlong off the field. Now, because the last thing to happen here is actually Denlong being destroyed. You shuffle back the Cosmic Cyclone into the deck, then destroy the Yangzing, and because you negated the activation of the card, it removes its chain link entirely from the chain, which means the last thing to happen is Denlong being destroyed, and that lets him create this chain here where he can activate both Chiwen and Denlong's effect. And you do this because it gets you another BN, which he plays... Oh no, he only plays 1 copy of it, so he cannot get another BN. That'll be interesting. So it'll be Swanee and Chiwen. And what you would do if BN was still in the deck is you could then synchro summon on your opponent's turn using BN's effect and get a Herald of Arclight that's indestructible by battle. So now he's got Swanee, which can still synchro summon during the opponent's turn. Its passive buff that it grants to a synchro monster is plus 500 attack and defense. And then he does indeed activate it. And he's going to synchro summon into... does he have any other 5s, or is there another Denlong? Yeah, it is another Denlong. And he runs 1 copy of Yangzing Path in his deck for the second search from the second Denlong. That's going to let him start recycling some pieces and getting more cards.
So far, Barberi has only played a single card, the Galaxy Cyclone.
Now, at least in terms of his field, Fang is out of interaction, except for the Ultimate Conductor. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno can work its magic in both turns, can it not? So if he has a dinosaur... Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix comes down on Barberi's side. Tributes that for Majesty Maiden.
Yes, it looks like the Conductor Tyranno can be used during both turns.
And it destroys a dinosaur monster, right?
Yep. Destroy any monster from your hand or field.
Oh, any monster.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is even better than I thought it was in that case.
Yeah.
For some reason I was thinking it had to be dinosaurs, but it's just banish 2 dinosaurs to summon it.
Right.
Destroy any monster, which means he could destroy that Lithosagem, which would then let him revive a non-Earth worm from his graveyard. Or he could just take out the Denlong and get another summon.
Looks like Fang has Max C in his hand, which ordinarily would be an amazing card in your opening, but against True Dracos, it's not as good.
Is he running anything that is special summon heavy over in Barberi's deck? Probably not.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
Looks like just True King's Return is the best use you're going to get out of it.
All right, Draconic Diagram hits the graveyard, and Heritage is up next. He's going to draw 1 card off of that. And we'll see if it gets him any further. Just having Majesty Maiden here hurts. He has to get something out there that'll at least force Fang to activate a card effect. Or else he's not going to get any more monsters, and the Maiden's just going to get run down. 3 face-down cards. How about some good traps to use here? You got any of those?
Not much. Skill Drain, lose 1 turn. Solemn Warning. True Draco Apocalypse. True King's Returned. Nothing that will seriously disrupt Fang's field.
Fang just picks up Ash Blossom and... yeah, Ash Blossom.
Right. He activates Path. So he gets to send 3 of his Yang Zings back.
Targets Bian, Swanee, and a Synchro, Denlong. And we'll see if we get a Majesty Maiden. We do, and it's hit by Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
It's like Barberi has no hand, right?
He has no hand.
So he definitely wants to starve Barberi of a monster that he can tribute summon. Especially because there's a decent chance that Barberi has some True Draco trap cards face down that he'd be looking to tribute on Fang's turn.
Well, the good thing for him is that True Draco Apocalypse can at least make these monsters a little smaller.
That's true. He can still do some tricks with that, but it's certainly not as powerful as it would be if he were able to pull a Masterpiece from his hit deck.
And he hits the second Ultimate Conductor Tyranno.
Fang uses Denglong's effect, so he is able to send a Yang Zing from his deck to his graveyard to modify Denglong's level.
He's going to change it to... he's thinking about it there. He should have another copy of Chiwen, which he does.
That's what he sends.
And that'll change it to level 1. More importantly, it gets the Chiwen into the graveyard where it can be revived. Now this is interesting because he's got a few different ways that he could play this out. He could use the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's ability, but even in that case, there are multiple different paths that he could follow there. And he goes ahead and does. He's drawn True King Agnimazud the Vanisher. That's a pretty good thing to have here in this case. Agnimazud also has an effect when it is destroyed. I believe it revive? No, it searches.
I think from the graveyard to the hand, right?
Graveyard to the hand? Yes, 1 non-fire worm from graveyard to hand.
So he's destroying the Denglong in order to use the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's effect.
I like that. That's gonna... now he's gonna try to lock in his combo from before that he wasn't able to do.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's gonna get a Yang Zing and Chiwen.
So that's pretty strong. So he'll be able to summon the Herald of the Arclight in case Barberi has a trap card that is detrimental to him. Perhaps
And, oh, I see we've got a question going on here. And I believe it is to whether or not what the timing of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is. Question would be whether or not you miss the timing to activate Chiwen's ability. You can destroy one monster in your hand or field, and if you do, change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position.
It looks like it's all part of one effect, right? So you'd be able to do both.
Well, it's because it's joined with "and if you do." That means that, from a causality perspective, the first thing has to happen for the second thing to happen, and in practical matters, you do one thing and then do the other. But in terms of what the game considers the timing is, it says that both of those things happen at the same time. So now we've got Chiwen, who has somehow made it into the extra monster zone. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, quite ambitious. But he's going to be tuned with Suwani very shortly.
One thing to note, though, if you're watching at home, is that monsters that are not summoned from the extra deck cannot be summoned to the extra monster zone. Ever. They just can't be there. So we've got a level 5, and he goes for High Speed Roy Chanbara, and that's when you know you're in trouble, when High Speed Chanbara comes out.
Oh, but Barberi flips lose one turn, so Chanbara's effect is negated for the turn and switches to defense position. Unfortunately, lose one turn is not going to affect the other two monsters that Fang has on his field, as they have been previously summoned. So the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno will attack Barberi's monster. It'll be destroyed by its own effect, and Barberi will lose 1,000 life points.
He did not use the... he did this... Yeah, he did the Send to the Graveyard one. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, he really saved himself by shifting High Speed Roy Chanbara out of to defense. That is the card you see right before you lose to this deck.
Yeah, 4,000 more points of damage, and Barberi would be out of the duel.
It's even worse than that, because it's got a plus 500 from... Well, it gets a plus 500 from Suwani, and then it gets another plus 200 when it attacks.
After the first attack.
So the first attack is 27, the second's 29.
So, yeah, so it would have been way more damage than he needed. But fortunately for Barberi, he was able to stop it with lose one turn.
That's some very good tech. I think Barberi was also... He probably prepared for this matchup. He wanted to play True Draco for the power and the searchability of everything, but he also didn't want to give up too much ground against this deck, and having lose one turn and all these tribute summon monsters is a great way to do it.
Barberi is actually using 3 copies of lose one turn, plus skill drain.
Seems smart to me.
Yeah. It's only risky if you draw multiples and you get stuck with them without the True Draco monsters.
Well, if Fang is thinking, we can give you some updates from Duel Links. Koizumi has won his match. Koizumi from Italy. And then DGZO has won his match, representing Germany. Roland goes ahead and he activates Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, destroying Agamazid. Because Majesty Maiden was not tribute summoned, she cannot do her search ability. That's going to leave High Speed Roy Chanbara on the field, and Barberi's still in trouble. He really needs either a monster or an Apocalypse.
Yeah, this definitely won't be easy to get out of.
He sets a card face down. It could be the Apocalypse he needs.
Would Apocalypse really help that much? I feel like it would just kind of delay a little bit.
Well, he could use it and take out the return.
Okay.
Which would take out another monster.
Okay. Unfortunately, he's staring down 3 of them.
Right.
And they're all really strong.
Right. But he could, weaken the impact of one of them and destroy another and just take a whole lot less damage.
That's true. I think eventually he's going to need Masterpiece, though, if he wants to turn this around.
He needs to get through this turn first. His High Speed Roy Chanbara is back and it's ready for action.
That is definitely
Conductor Tyranno takes out Majesty Maiden once again.
That's another 1,000 points of damage to Barberi, thanks to the effect of the Tyranno.
High Speed Roy Chanbara gets in there.
And that's it.
The double attack does far, far more damage than Barberi has life points left. And we're getting ready for game 2.
Yep. Thanks to Suwani, actually, the single attack destroys
Indeed.
what's left of
He
his
had
life points.
he had a lot less life left than I thought he had.
The ultimate conductor Tyranno actually sort of chipped away at his life points.
It really did.
Did 1,000 damage
Those
a couple
1,000 went up.
times.
And there was a Cosmic Cyclone as well.
That too,
That
another
also took out
1,000
a
right
1,000.
there.
All right, so we've got some more updates from Duel Links. Silent Loft wins, duelist from Indonesia, and Samsung Yoshida of Japan also won his match. So the Duel Links round is over. And we've also got what appears to be a Dragon Duel result for you. Looks like Hang Wei-Wu has prevailed over Rafael Roch of Brazil. So we know that Barberi he's prepared for this matchup, like so much so that he's main decking cards like Lose One Turn to get ready for this dinosaur matchup. But is there more? Is there more that he can bring in here? Is he going with regular cards like Skullmeister to negate graveyard effects, or is he taking the Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries route?
Interesting you ask that, because he's using neither of them.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a strangely dedicated Time Lord side deck, actually. Using 3 copies of Zaphion the Time Lord, 2 Time Maidens, as well as Camion the Time Lord.
Ah, Camion's the one that sends anything back to the deck and does 500 damage.
Yeah, I thought it banishes a card.
Camion?
Let me check.
Meanwhile, it looks like he's also got his Ash Blossoms there. So he's not running any of those monsters. Not running Ash Blossom, Ghost Reaper, or anything like that in his main deck. And I believe that's, yeah, he's got the pure Card of Demise build. He's not hedging his bets that he'll draw the Ash Blossom before the Card of Demise like a lot of the American players were doing. That's very interesting. So in terms of the Time Lords, I think Camion would be useful here.
You're right, it shuffles it into the
Shuffles into the deck and does 5.
Yes.
Yeah, Zaphion not so good here. Camion could be pretty good. For this one, though, you really need to get rid of lots of monsters at the same time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't know that.
that's a bit of a problem.
I don't know which Time Lord you would really want here, or if it's particularly helpful.
Yeah, and although Time
this
Lords
matchup.
are immune to destruction effects.
Yeah. In general, though, you would want to play the Time Lords against True Draco, something like that. So the ideal setup is, okay, I'll hit you with Zaphion, send your entire back row back to the deck, and diagram if you've got it. And then I can, if I have Time Maiden, I can follow up later and either get another clear of all of your spell and trap cards, or go into something like Lazion, the Time Lord, which can shuffle all your cards back into the deck to eat up Masterpiece's fuel and do a little more damage. Lazion has this ability where the first time your opponent draws a card each turn, they take 1,000 damage. So I've been playing it in Trickstars from Code of the Duelist. So if you have that and say Contract with Dawn 1000, you can just pile on 3,000 damage before your opponent even gets to start, that sort of thing. But in this context, you're mainly going to see Zaphion as a counter to True Dracos.
Barberi actually uses 2 copies of Vanity's Fiend in the side deck, and I think that would be pretty powerful here.
Yeah, it would, because he gets all those extra tribute summons. If he could draw into it, I think that could be very powerful.
Yes, the dinosaur deck is very heavily reliant on special summoning.
And looking over here, I don't see that there's really much of anything that Fang can do about it.
So
Yeah, I'm not really seeing it.
if we see anything come in, I expect that's what we'll see.
All right, so it looks like we're about ready. It's Barberi's choice if he wants to go first or second. It's interesting. I think we had a few instances of True Draco duels going second that I've seen in the past. Last round, I believe, either Raoul passed his first turn completely, or he let Charlie go first in their second game, which is a little weird. Barberi does not do that here. He values his ability to get cards out of the hand, and he plays Card of Demise with 2 left in hand. That's not so good. It's
Nevertheless, Fang decides to negate it with Ash Blossom.
That's really interesting. Let's take a look at Card of Demise, because he might have to just lose his hand anyways. Card of Demise. Some restrictions placed on cards, it doesn't care if the card is negated, or if the effect is negated. Draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. During the end phase of the turn, send your entire hand to the graveyard. Okay, no. So he will. He should keep his hand.
Okay, and that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So Fang activates Schematic Diagram.
Destroys Petit Pteranodon. Things looking really good for him again.
Yep, he adds another True King to his hand.
Barberi could really use that lose one turn here. Meanwhile, we have a result from the main event. Joshua Schmidt has picked up his first win of the tournament. He was 0-3, but he picked one up here over J.Y. Sharif of the United Kingdom. And is Barberi thinking here? Is he thinking on Petit Pteranodon? Somebody's thinking on Petit Pteranodon.
Looks like Fang was waiting for a response from Barberi to see if he was going to do anything. He did not. And instead, Fang is going to special summon Soul Eating Oviraptor from his deck.
All right. Soul Eating Oviraptor is up next. How about that one? Is that going through? Looks like yes.
Seems like a pretty strong start for Fang again, and an exceptionally weak start for Barberi.
Yeah. You can see he's feeling pretty good about it. He already had a Petit Pteranodon in his hand, and he added another one of the baby dinosaurs to his hand. So he's going to just go for it.
Wow, Baby Cerosaurus and Petit Pteranodon, both destroyed from the hand for the True King.
Double Dino with Lithosagem is just incredibly strong.
It really is.
Barring something pretty good like that lose one turn, you're about to see why.
I think we would have seen it flipped, right? Well, we'll see it here if he has it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like he does.
What if he's waiting for Denlong and just going to try to stop the search off of it? Would that be useful? I don't know how useful that would be.
I think it would be better to preempt everything right now because he's going to take a ton of damage. Unless he has some sort of Mirror Force card in his side deck, which doesn't look like he does.
Yeah, I don't know if he makes it out of this turn if he doesn't have a response.
No, I don't think he does make it out of this turn.
And I just saw Roland Fang, a Cosmic Cyclone flash by in his hand. And so it doesn't look like lose one turn is even an out here.
Yeah.
A key solemn.
Would that help?
Could help. I don't know that it will.
It doesn't
because the
look
2,000
like
life
it,
points would.
With all of the
be too
damage
much.
already on the board.
True Draco Apocalypse. All right. He's going to tribute summon.
He's going to try, but Cosmic Cyclone by Roland Fang banishes it from the duel. So now he doesn't get to.
Oof. That's rough. Oviraptor's effect is up next.
And that's
Barberi,
it.
He knows.
Roland Fang wins on the first turn.
He knows it's over. That is absolutely brutal. Well, in the...
It looks like...
actually, you cannot concede.
So
all right.
Instead, his life points will drop to 0.
It'll just take a little bit longer, but you'll get to see a little bit more of what the dinosaur deck can do here as Fang goes through the motions. Now we get Jirachiello next. Yep. Now notice Miscellaneous Source hasn't even hit the graveyard yet. It's doing that now. There's the Chanbara.
Barberi's life points go back up to 8,000 just so
And
he can
now they
suffer
go
the
back down
abuse
to
once
0.
again.
Oh boy.
All the monsters attack, and it's way more than 8,000 points of damage.
So that rule's supposed to be in place to make sure that that all concessions are legitimate, but that one is very clearly legitimate.
Yeah, it's hardly a concession. It's more like he's actually lost already.
Man, that was brutal. Roland Fang had some pretty good starts off there. Barberi's hand, it couldn't have been that good. If you have to just set 2 and demise for 1, something's gone wrong, and it did in fact go wrong with him. But you know what? There's a lot to be happy about if you're Marcello Barberi, because you are still 3-1 and you still have a great positioning in this tournament.
Yes, if he wins next round, he's basically guaranteed a spot in the top 8. Even if he loses, he has a chance of making it to the top 8.
And Roland Fang, we'll be seeing him in the best of 8 round, which make sure you stay today after round 5, because the top 8 match, the quarterfinals, are being played today.
Yes, that's different than previous years.
Don't want to miss that. Not at all. It looks like we have had another match result coming in. No, it is not. It is a clearer picture of the one we already have. All right, so we don't have any more match results quite yet. But so the thing with the double baby with Lithosagem is just the sheer number of summons you get Lets
Oh
you,
yeah, it's incredible.
yeah, you get to basically use Iolo earlier than you would have. You get, and this is why one of the reasons why you play 2 of them, is that you can get 1 off a baby in that circumstance, and then after synchro summoning with Miscellaneousaurus, you still have it in the graveyard to get another one if you need it, or if you wind up with a lot of dinosaurs in the graveyard and you're at a point where you need another level 4, you can banish 4 to get an Oviraptor. If you have another tuner there, it is very difficult in this format to explain just how you're in, like a commentary format, to explain just how powerful the dinosaur deck is. So
Yes.
if you want to figure out more about how it works, like I do recommend building it and trying it out yourself, or otherwise reading about it is a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
There are a number of resources that you can probably find that list step by step each thing that happens in each of these combos, and I really do recommend reading up on it because it's utterly fascinating.
And duelists in the United States can use this deck to compete in this weekend's World Championship Celebration Tournament.
Yeah, so that's like one of the great things, because of the time difference
Yes.
here in Japan. It's only Friday in the United States. So if you're watching right now and you're running, oh man, what am I going to play tomorrow? I've got a great plan. Try dinosaurs. Dinosaur Yang Zing. It's real good.
Yeah, they've definitely proven themselves already as a top contender in this unique format. So if you're struggling to pick a deck,
Yeah, and it's so powerful that people are putting Genlong in their extra deck just to have it for Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries.
yes.
It's a really fantastic card. It's like, okay, I'm a tuner, I'm level 5, and Yang Zing had 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything lower for the longest time, but now they got 5. But it's also every other level of Yang Zing because you can keep changing. It gets you searches. It came in the same set as 9 Pillars, which is one of the strongest counter traps that we've ever had. It negates monster effects, spell cards, trap cards, and it destroys your card, and it shuffles theirs back into the deck. It's got the wiretap effect, essentially. It's just incredibly powerful. So, definitely get out to your OTS World Championship Celebration tournaments this weekend. I do recommend Dinosaurs if you're going to play there, but True Draco is very good as well.
It is, but be prepared to beat dinosaurs if you use Crew Draco
And
with certain
yeah.
deck cards.
And make sure that you get onto the Facebook sites, official Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG in both Europe and North America, depending on what territory you live in, so that you can find out how you can get some of these. There's only 150 being given out to each territory. So you got to act fast, make sure you get your stuff in, and get a little bit lucky. So that's going to do it for us. Is Duel Links up next?
I
got more
believe
Duel
it's
Links next?
Dragon
Oh,
Duels
it's Dragon
next,
Duel.
followed
Dragon
by
Duel
more
top 8.
Duel Links.
All right, so we've got Dragon Duel Top 8 coming up next, and
Yes.
some more Duel Links later, and we'll close out the day with the top 8 from the main event. Don't go away.